Why don't we just walk in with the house? Thank you. It's so messy. That's one way I'm going.
Okay, that looks good.
Do what you want Nobody's judging. No judgment. So what? I'll give them about. Oh, so what? Next Thursday. Which way do you just drive? You get with the Chiron or you get with the and you just drive here to the park garage. And they'll tell you what's right.
That's right. Even though they're going to work out, they like to work out. So we tend to park towards 9th Avenue. And that keeps you out of a lot of traffic that's coming and going too. If you're concerned about.
Because I have a few things that
Between the gym, if they put in the fireworks stand again. For a while during COVID, they were making that corner for cars. That goes crazy.
So is that
Our lease gives us access to that trailer. Yeah, but if the shopping center is doing stuff to mess that up, we'll do what we need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, really haven't had any problems with it in like 20 years. Well, which trip did you get one? Rita Jackson. St. John's. Those are our two big boats. I think variety. Well, I gave you the, you might be out of the sheets till the end of December. It does, but you're not going to get December in the mail. If you go to the website, you can print out all the way to December. We just can't fit it all in.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
No.
So oh, you drove over now? God bless you. I'm sorry, we couldn't wait for you.
I was embarrassed, but I've been on enough to know that
It depends on what we're doing. If we're just going to like a shopping thing, then I have some flexibility. You wanna have a time ticket or something?
Yeah, where were you going?
Yesterday was the senior I place down across the street.
Yeah.
So they do a presentation. And you gotta be on camera. Although it sounds like we still got there fairly early.
I used to have
I did enjoy that. Appreciate you being understanding. Not everybody is. Yeah, they try to make it fine.
I don't need it. but I'll take it.
These pictures of that blue jay.
Yeah.
He was chasing Terry around every yard. So Barbara got some great pictures.
I had to say it.
So we have to fly through these, we're a little behind schedule. This is the mystery trip we did.
Oh, yeah.
And what did you know?
It's called Mertailers, and they make mermaid tails. They also have tanks where they have mermaid show. Well, you'll see.
Is it close to the
Not too far. It's actually close to Lecanto.
Oh, yeah.
Not too far from Tarpon Springs.
Yeah, she just said, Jane,
I should have gone on that trip. Yeah, they actually sell the mermaid tails too. Those are like real fancy silicone. And they also sell just fabric ones.
Oh, yeah.
You can put the grandkids in. I don't know what the price of the silicone is. Probably
Nothing, I'm just
$1,000
making
a
sure.
month. 70, $80 for the fabric, which I thought was pretty reasonable, something like that.
Is this different?
This is the one that goes through December and here's some things for February.
Okay, thank you.
I think I have everything now.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
That could be fashion photography, some of it.
Yeah, some of these.
Did you do it?
No, I steal all these pictures off Facebook.
Right. Yeah, I'm surprised that's not like this guy like that.
Well, the thing is, some of them is, they're in a assisted living.
Oh,
The
yeah.
American house and, Taiwan.
What are we get?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna show you a picture of a place, and you're gonna guess where that is.
Oh, that's,
We had a lady on the bus a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago, 97.
We have a
Yeah, I remember
97-year-old
that.
lady.
Oh, this was on our lunch bunch.
yeah, that's.
I know her.
Yeah, that was a nice detour. I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Usually on lunch bunch, I come up with a weird place to go,
She must be in
and I
good
don't
shape.
usually investigate a lot ahead of time, so sometimes we get a whammy. Sometimes we get something nice like Raymond James was. That was a good detour.
Carl.
Oh, there he is. Isn't that the same shirt, Carl?
It's a birthday boy.
Carl, how many, do you have two shirts?
Yeah.
Just check.
I've worked it in between.
There's Buffy. Buffy's got a different hat about every day then.
No,
Got turning chairs.
Okay, it's 1:30. I got yelled at this morning.
Yeah, don't listen.
That's our lunch bunch at the place that shall not be named.
Oh, don't miss the thing.
That's Astro. Say hi, Astro. And that's Bristol.
Yep. When you did the thing on the restaurant last time out west that they had just redone.
It's cool. The gas
They
station
showed 2
makes
days
a
later
lot.
on it.
Yeah. We had to cancel the trip.
Oh, really?
Warm here.
Didn't have enough people to run it.
And that's Rover.
Rover?
It's the fall foiling.
That's
Doesn't
Rover.
go on
Yeah. Everything else is
No,
rocking.
friends of mine, we're eventually gonna butcher it like the next day.
That doesn't sound.
Or they have chicken and quail and all sorts of things. Yeah.
Oh, Mel.
Uh-oh.
Mel, yeah, Arrow.
Down just a hair. Let's try that. That's better. Come up one.
There we go. Can everybody see okay?
Yeah.
Hello, folks at home. Can you see okay? I can't hear you. It doesn't matter. Welcome to Travel is Fun Tours. I'm Todd. In the back is my wife, Wendy. She's going to help you if you have any questions on stuff. We are a small family-owned business, as I think pretty much everybody knows in this room. The office is right around the corner over by the barber shop there. We are responsive to your needs. This is how our family pays all the bills, and there's plenty of them. You guys know that. Being a family-owned business, we want you guys to be very, very happy and go tell your friends about us. We are fully licensed and insured, and we've got about 50 years of managing other people's money, because until the trip has gone, that's your money. That's not my money. When the trip is gone and I've gotten you back home safely, now it's my money. And that's where a lot of companies get into trouble and run out of business, because while they're holding that money for a trip 6 months in the future, they treat it like it's their money. And that's when they get in lots of trouble. We have over 40 years of experience. We started down by Williams Park in St. Pete. And around 91, we moved over here to Tyrone Gardens and have been here ever since. We use up-to-date modern motor coaches. We have nice Mark's First Class coaches, and we work with them very carefully to try and make sure we have excellent drivers and buses. And most of the time that works out.
Well put.
Well, it is one of those things where there are mechanical issues, garage issues. Sometimes you don't get what you want. But we try as hard as we can to get it all straightened out for you. There's one of the buses. That's the bus we used to own, that my dad's pride and joy. He has a picture of the bus in his wallet, not a picture of me. We do multi-day tours, and Wendy's sitting back there. She's got copies of all the flyers. You can see the pastel-colored ones. Those are trips we made up all by our little selves. If you see one of these full-colored sheets, that's a trip we booked with a company called Diamond Tours, and we'll probably be doing a few of those in 2024. So keep an eye out for those. I'm going to tell you about all the trips coming up, and I've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to talk fast today. We also do multi-day tours. Or we do day trips, rather. I'm going backwards. We do day trips that go all over the place. Some of you guys went to see the Seeing Eye Dogs yesterday. We've done great boat trips on the St. Johns River and on the Myakka River and in Sarasota Bay. We do dinner theaters, casinos, all kinds of places. So there should be something that everybody wants to go see. We do have a travel club. We charge $18 for new members, $15 for renewals. Notice the big word in bold and underlined, optional. It's not a requirement. So don't go telling your friends they have to join my travel club. They don't. Don't go telling your friends it's $200. It ain't. People have done that. I wish I could figure out who it was. It is not necessary. What the travel club will get you is you get all our flyers in the mail once a month. You get $2 off your day trips. And you get a cool name tag with your name on it, not Mabel's. Bottom line with travel is fun. Is we are friendly and courteous and informative, even if we have to make stuff up. We want you to be comfortable. And with buses, that can be tricky because there's one thermostat. Because on a bus, most of the time, about half of you are going to be a little too warm, about half of you are going to be too cold, and one of you is going to think it's just perfect and don't touch it. And so what we advise is dress light, bring something extra in case you're one of those that feels cold, and then you can kind of adjust yourself. And we try to keep you happy and comfortable there. We're going to do the Where in the World contest. Does everybody have, I'm going to steal Caroline's slip. Does everybody have a little yellow slip like Caroline's here? Yeah, good. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture of a place we have gone before, and we're going to probably go there again someday. My sister couldn't guess it, and she didn't think anybody would guess it, but one of the people at this morning's meeting did get it, and one. I'm not going to tell you who it is because one of you is going to text her. Find out. If you think you have the right answer, don't yell out the answer, because now you just gave the right answer to the whole room and turned your test of intelligence and knowledge into a drawing for everybody. So keep that advantage to yourself.
And no using your cell phone.
No smartphones, no phone a friend, and you don't get to win more than twice in a calendar year. Who's won so far this year? Barbara, you haven't won one yet?
No.
Really? That's unusual. All right.
So-
She's sandbagging.
Make sure your answer is as detailed as possible, because if there are two people with similar answers and yours has one more detail than the other person, then you get the $25 off the next
Yep.
trip.
That's your prize, $25 off your next trip. That's your judge back there. She does take bribes.
I do.
I
And
knew it. I knew it all the time.
I prefer rabbits.
so even though you have the right answer, you might not have the most right answer. So here we go. You guys ready for your clue? Here it comes. Go around to see if there's any looks of recognition. I see staring. I see slack jaws.
Somebody this morning did identify it as a rock.
It is in fact a rock. You would not be entirely wrong.
I just thought it was.
But the
weird.
name of the game is where in the world, so we want to know where that is. Again, name, address, zip code. The more you know, the more you write, the better your chances of being selected. Okay, with that, we're going to go into highlights of upcoming trips. The rest of August, you can see the little traffic lights here to tell you how the trips are going. So Tampa Hard Rock Casino next Monday, I got 3 or 4 seats left. If you want to do that one. Lunch Punch next week, I got 4 or 5 seats left. That is going to Cafe Massaret Town up near Dade City, Brooksville area. And that's going to be really, really good. If you don't know the scoop on Lunch Punches, we do those once a month. We sing happy birthday to everybody who's got a birthday that month. You get a tiara if you're a girl, or a funky hat like you saw Carl wearing if you're a fella. And beads and a name and a birthday card. We make it a really good day. We're going to go to Safety Harbor and get a history tour with Holly on Saturday the 19th. And that is going to be spectacular. You're going to love that one. That's going to include lunch at a really good pizza restaurant in Safety Harbor that Holly recommended. The RJ Stadium, Raymond James Stadium tour, I need about 4 or 5 more for that to get locked in. So as of right now, you see the yellow light that tells you it is not safely going to go. The red light, the HB Plant Museum, that one I need 7 or 8 more to go. So that's kind of a stretch there. Yes, ma'am.
On that one, that's one of my tours. So there will be a lot of information about the plant Flagler rivalry that developed Florida in the early 1900s.
Yep. Wendy's a good tour guide for that kind of stuff. So if you'd like to go on, it's a great museum. Lunch stop is going to be at West Shore Plaza. So you'll have some shopping and lunchtime there as well. Cirque du Soleil, that is Sunday, August 27th. And you are going to have a blast going on that one. It's a fantastic show. It's called Drawn to Life, and it's in the Cirque Theater at Disney Springs. So you have the option. The higher price, obviously, is going to see the show. We'll get there early enough. You can grab some lunch and go see your show. If you're not seeing the show, then you've got all afternoon to wander around Disney Springs, enjoy the free air conditioning in all the shops. Go to your choice of a bunch of great restaurants like House of Blues, Hollywood,
Rainforest Cafe.
yeah, Rainforest Cafe.
T-Rex. Can I go on it? The Irish Pub, I recommend.
Yeah, the Irish Pub is
highly.
very, very good. So a lot of great restaurants. And if you want to do some shopping for birthdays or holidays coming up, there's all kinds of good Disney stuff there.
And if you just want to drink your lunch, go to the Jocks. It's actually a takeoff on Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, finally, wrapping up August, we've got the Joseph Family Tea Room. That's just a few seats shy of having enough to be locked in. So we'd love to have a few more people sign up. It's a beautiful little tea room up in Clearwater, and they promise to make sure you don't go home hungry. So if you're worried about that, I know some tea rooms can starve you. Jumping into September, we're going to start September with the Salvador Dali Museum in downtown St. Pete. And that has a new exhibit. Now, it's not included in your ticket price, but it's called Dali 360, and it is a dome. I'll show you. I got a picture later. I'll show you. And it's got Dali paintings all around the outside. It's right next to the museum. It's $15. And you go inside, and it's got a 360-degree video display of Dali and his history and his art with sound. It's about 45 minutes, and it is amazing. I checked out the videos of it yesterday on YouTube. Lunch is not included on that one. That one, you can.
There's a restaurant at Dolly.
There's a restaurant at Dolly or the hangars right next.
Yep. Yeah, you got
The hangar.
Cafe Gala, which is named after Dolly's wife, or you can go to the Hangar Restaurant a block or so away. September 9th, we got the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater down in Fort Myers, and they're doing, this is a unique show. I haven't seen them do something quite like this before. They're doing Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. And Bob and I were just discussing, that's got to be probably the most adapted book ever, because it has been Broadway plays. It's been made as a movie at least half a dozen times that I can think of, starting with silent movies. So it has been adapted over and over and over, but they're going to do it on stage for you. It's going to be fantastic. The food there is really, really good. They have a cash bar. Usually from the Broadway Palm, return time is about 5:30 to 6 p.m. Not too terrible. So that's that one. And this, you can see the theater there. It's a nice, big, spread out, open theater. Plenty of space for you. September 10th, we're going to do the St. John's River Ship. That one's down to no, I take that back. That one is sold out as of yesterday.
Oh, it's sold out.
It is sold out. You can get on.
There's another one.
You can get on the wait list for it. So between now and September 10th, that's a month away. Out of 50 people, how many of them do you think are going to come up with a doctor's appointment, a grandkid coming to visit, or have to take their cat to the psychiatrist? Somebody's coming off, so get on the wait list and you might get on. September 14th, our lunch bunch for September is going to CC Riders. That's up in Dunedin. And this is going to be a neat one. Number one, CC Riders was featured in a Hallmark movie called A Taste of Love. And I've got a short video of an interview with the actors and actresses from that. I haven't been able to get the disc for it. They don't seem to have released it. But I'll get you some clips to watch on the way. And after our lunch, you'll have a little bit of shopping and wandering time. There's some shops and other things to see around there. Right across the street is a place called Penny Lane. Go up the stairs. They've got one of the world's largest collections of Beatles memorabilia up there. You can see one of the original costumes that the Beatles wore on stage and a bunch of other stuff. He doesn't charge for it. He does take donations. So that will be our treat for Lunch Bunch that day. You won't have to watch my bus driver try to back up 3 blocks because I got him stuck somewhere. Sorry. We'll do that next time.
That's what you do for kids.
Now, September 24th, we're doing a new thing where we combine 2 destinations with 1 bus. So the bus on September 24th is going to go down south towards Sarasota area. The first destination will be Big Cat Habitat, and we'll see if the video runs for us. My computer can be pokey. And we're not getting sound.
That doesn't do sound usually, that part.
No, it does.
Does it?
Yeah, it did this morning. I don't know if my speaker's dead or
You're getting really,
my speaker was sounding weird.
hear that.
It's just got a jungly, heavy beat to it. I could beatbox it for you.
Please don't.
Anyway,
You're welcome.
you can see what kind of cute critters they've got. You look up because this is filmed with a drone. So the drone's flying around. They make a loud buzz out there. Down there, they've got a nice restaurant there. If you would prefer, you can go to Selby Gardens. They also have a restaurant there. They also have tons of flowers. They're on a little spit of land kind of sticking out into Sarasota Bay. So you'll get a nice breeze out there, nice comfortable, and they've got all kinds of orchids and other beautiful flowers for you to visit. And that's Marie Selby Gardens. The 27th, the bus is only going to 1 location. That's going to be Mayaca State Park. That will include the tram ride with narration, the world's largest airboat and also the world's slowest airboat. Seats 70 and goes about 5 miles an hour, but it takes you out for a real nice look around the lake down there. And lunch is on your own. Again, they have their own cafe there. And they also have a skywalk up among the trees. So you can go up some stairs, and you can see it right here. There's a walkway between the trees up high above the ground. That is pretty darn neat. We'll give you time for that. September 29th, we've got a day in Winter Park. This is another bonus 2 trips for 1 destination. So you can spend the day in Winter Park. They've got a nice boat ride down these canals. They've got the Morse Museum, which has one of the largest collections of Tiffany glass in the world. And they've got lots of great restaurants and shops to visit while you're there. You'll get about 4 hours in Winter Park. The other option in Winter Park is we've got the Winter Park Playhouse is doing their show, Ruthless, the musical. It's all about this little 8-year-old girl. Doesn't she look precious? Wouldn't you trust her with your life? You shouldn't, because she wants to lead in the school play, and her evil manager is willing to help her get it any way they can. This one also does not include your lunch, but there are like 5 restaurants, easy walking distance from the theater. So we'll drop you there. You'll get lunch and go to the theater for your show. Then September 30th, that's also a dual location bus that day. That's going to have St. Armand Circle Craft Fest and Sidewalk Sale. It's a beautiful location. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the water. You can walk right over to Lido Beach is near there. They've got all kinds of great shops and restaurants all around the circle. The center of the circle has bronze plaques commemorating famous circus families, so you can get a little education if you're not careful. You've got the Columbia restaurant there, Tommy Bahamas,
Cha-cha coconuts.
Cha-cha coconuts. Yeah, the Blue Dolphin is my favorite. It's a little family cafe. Might have to wait for a seat, but it's worth it. There's a Kilwins that has ice cream and fudge and chocolate. And they're all, of course, they're going to have a sidewalk sale with vendors and artists from all over the country there. So that is September 30th. Also, the other option that day is to go to Sarasota Jungle Gardens, where they have over 200 different species of animals for free to visit with. They will have live shows of birds of prey and other critters, and lunches on your own at that one as well. So that's the end of September. It's time to show you guys why being hot is not so bad. And you'll be complaining in 6 months anyway. So here's what you'll complain about in 6 months.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've been up north, you'll relate to a lot of these.
That's Todd.
Yep.
He does not know how to wear long pants when there's snow out.
Not if I don't have to.
Him and Peter Jackson.
I like this one.
Oh,
Ooh.
Just lay down for a minute.
not
I do
very.
not miss that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That would be bad. Can't quite see the bottom. It says, bosses be like, you still coming to work today? That would be my sister asking that. This one says, the air hurts my face. Why am I living where the air hurts my face?
Aw.
You ever walked outside when you lived up north and that icy cold blast hit you? Okay, jumping into October, here comes Wendy. She's going to take you shopping.
In a yellow dress.
In her yellow dress. That's her favorite dress, by the way.
I hate that dress.
She's going to go to the Red Barn Flea Market that has acres and acres of indoor air-conditioned shopping, vendors with all kinds of nice new products for you. And they've got produce there and lots of other good stuff. They have entertainment. They've got restaurants. So a good place to spend a few hours. Yes, ma'am?
Is that in Bradenton?
Sarasota, technically.
Red Barn is in Bradenton.
Yes, it is.
Well,
I thought-
it's close to Sarasota.
Yeah.
It's like,
Very far south.
and maybe it's right on the edge between Bradenton and Sarasota.
Right.
I consider it Sarasota because when we go by it, we're on the way to the Der Dutchman. So that's the Red Barn Flea Market. And then after that, getting you ready for the holidays, we're going to go to Detweiler's Amish Farmers Market. And it's a great place to get you a duck. It costs a lot less than Publix does. They're going to give you some free ice cream. They've got all kinds of goodies. So if you want to stock up on some stuff for Thanksgiving or Christmas, It's a good place to get your freezer all stocked up.
The prices there are really awesome, that's why we're going.
October 9th, we're going to do Florida Polytech University. You've probably seen this place. If you've driven along I-4, you've seen it. Notice the roof here. In this shot, these ribs are kind of coming together like that. And in this shot, they are up. And so that building actually has a variable architecture. Those ribs move throughout the day, providing different shade and shadows in the area below. So you're going to get a nice walking tour of the campus with my dad, Pat. He's going to take you out to lunch at the student cafeteria, which is spectacular. October 11th, this is a different barn. This isn't the red barn. This is lunch on your own, but it ain't going to cost you hardly nothing. It's only about $10. When you go, you're going to take a little gold pencil and you're going to write on the menu what you want, and they bring you a picnic basket to the table with your order. Go stand by the register too. It's an interesting operation to watch because they take the picnic table, it gets shoved in a little window behind the register, and if you peek through there, you can see the elves working, and they clean out your picnic basket. It goes down the line, gets sanitized, and the next lunch gets put in there, and it comes around the window next door. So that's kind of fun. They've got 3 great shops there. They've got a garden shop for outdoor decorations. They've got arts and crafts, and they've got an antique shop called The Barn, and that will have just opened 3 or 4 days. They closed for the summer because they are over in Europe buying antiques for the antique shop. So we'll be there just a few days after opening. There'll be a good chance for you to get your hands on some good items. If you fall in love with a dresser or chairs or something, those will fit under the bus just fine. Just going to make sure you know how to get it from the parking lot to your house. We'll get it here. October 13th, we're doing the Cross Bay Ferry. That takes off from in front of the Vinoy, but we'll do the pickups at Seminole and here. We'll get you downtown, put you on the ferry, and then the ferry is going to take in about a 45-minute ride across Tampa Bay. It's going to land near the cruise port on the Tampa side. If you'd like to go to the Tampa Bay History Museum, that's right there. It's right across the street from where we're going to land. The Tampa trolley goes right in front of where we land, and that goes from there all the way up into Ybor City. Yes, ma'am?
I heard on the TV just the other day that they were going to close that down, that it wasn't making enough money.
Close what down?
No, it's a different, it's one of the routes. It's not the route from St. Pete to Tampa. It's the one by McGill.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But I just heard.
Any other false information you want to spread? Fake news?
Just call Mary, one of those news channels.
I trust Travel is one. If I sign up for it and it don't go, they'll give me my money back.
That's true. Yeah. If we cancel a trip, your money is safe. In fact, going back to COVID, that's what I spent 3 months doing, is writing refund checks. It was close to $200,000 that went out the bank.
Wow. Well, and the crosstown ferry, because that one route is so popular, they were looking at increasing the amount of
Yes.
times that they did it during the day.
Yeah.
But they haven't.
That's supposed to
done
happen
that.
this fall.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you got a ton of things to do on the Tampa side. You can ride the trolley up and down the street. You can go to the aquarium or to Ybor City. There's restaurants and shops all up in there. And then your friendly bus driver is going to pick you up back at the dock and take you back to St. Pete, so you're not riding the boat back. And that is the Cross Bay Ferry. October 14th, we got a double header, what do you call it? When you got 2 movies on the same day.
Double feature.
Twin feature, double feature. We have a double feature at the Broadway Palm. So the main Broadway Palm Dinner Theater, they're going to do the show Hairspray. It's about a young lady, and she gets famous on a dance show on TV, and there's a fella she's trying to get the attention of. And it's a great show with a lot of great music and dancing. Fantastic food. Look at those plates. Doesn't that look delicious?
You're not gonna ask everybody who's in purple in your picture?
Okay, who's that in purple? Anybody know? Eric, put your hand down back there.
Hey,
I
I was
ain't calling
right
on
this
you.
morning, wasn't I?
Stop showing off.
Travolta.
That is John Travolta. Barbara knew because I did it last month. Anyway, yes, that is John Travolta in the movie version of the show. At the other theater, they actually have 2 theaters off the same lobby. So the smaller theater is called the Off-Broadway Palm, and they do smaller comedies there. They're doing Popcorn Falls. It's about a little town called,
Popcorn
you
Falls.
guys are trained so well. And Popcorn Falls gets in trouble because their namesake, the falls, runs out of water, runs dry. No tourists coming. So they're trying for a grant from the state. And what they do is they're going to put on a show and open a theater. And there's about 20 characters in the show, all played by 2 actors, and should be just a blast. Every time I walk by that theater, I can just hear people howling in there with laughter. And you get the same great meal in there, same cash bar is available, and you'll have your choice of those 2 shows because they run at the same time. October 19th, we're going to do Lunch Bunch at Millie's. Somebody want to tell me where Millie's is? Who's paying attention back there?
Hold on.
I bet Buffy will get it.
Sarasota.
Sarasota? Mary wins. She's redeemed herself. Millie's is down in Sarasota. What I want to point out, look at the menu pictures. Those are not stock photographs that they bought. That's the food they made in the restaurant. They made a real big point of that on their website, that this is our food that we photographed for our site. That's really cool. It does look delicious, don't it? So we're going to have a nice lunch bunch in October at Millie's. October 21st, some of you guys were asking, where is the Celebration Oktoberfest being held?
At Celebration.
In Celebration.
Oh,
We used to call it Disney Celebration, which made it a little more clear. It's up by Orlando. It's a planned community. It's got a great downtown. And they've got shops, restaurants. They're going to have UPA bands. They will have brats, beer, all the good Oktoberfest stuff. And they are also going to have a feature. They're going to have falling autumn leaves somehow. I've been there and I've seen them have falling snow in December. So I guess they can pull off leaves too. It will be an evening trip, just so you know. Fall foliage is almost full, down to about 4 or 5 seats on that one. That's going up to the Smoky Mountains, Smoky Mountain National Park, Newfound Gap, a day at Dollywood. Now, some of you guys have been to Dollywood a dozen times, and if you don't want to do Dollywood, we can set it up so that you can hang out at the hotel, or you can get an Uber and go visit Gatlinburg some more, or I think Asheville's pretty close, if I remember right. No?
Asheville's about 50 miles away.
It'd be a pretty big Uber. But there are things you can do besides going to Dollywood that day. We can set that up for you. October 22nd, we're going to one of our favorite animal parks. This is called Wild Florida. It's actually expanded quite a bit in the few years since Wendy and I first went there. I got her a surprise mystery Christmas present.
Coolest Christmas gift outside of
Which
Shrugged and hockey tickets.
when she opened the envelope, she just had to tell me what day she wanted to go somewhere. And she got her own individual mystery trip. We drove and we drove and we drove.
And we drove some more.
And it's way on the other side of Orlando in a place called Keenanville. And I got it right, Barbara. You worked with me. And back then, they didn't have the safari. So when we get there, the bus is going to take you on a driving safari. And you get to see all the crazy animals out on the field, walking around doing crazy animal stuff. We're going to stop at the giraffe feeding station. You go up the steps, grab some food, and the giraffes will come up and eat it right out of your hands. And then we'll go to the zoo itself, where they have a nice shady boardwalk through the zoo. And you can visit with all the other animals. And they've got gators, porcupines,
Don't forget Guy.
and Guy the tree sloth. You can have lunch with gators if you want. They will set up a little card table in the gator pen and bring you a delicious lunch while the gators look you over.
You guys know I would do that and like kiss the gator, right?
That's an honest to gosh thing they do. You can also go in the cage with Guy the tree sloth for an extra fee. So you can actually visit with a lot of interesting animals there.
Just don't mess with his ears. He does not like his ears to be messed with.
Thursday, October 26th, we got Herman's Royal Lipizzans, and that's going to be at the Metro Diner. Well, lunch is on your own at the Metro Diner after the Lipizzans. And so let's take a look at what Lipizzans look like. And this had music. I don't know what happened to my sound. Makes me sad.
Did you ever turn it on? Oh, it was nice.
I did. Yeah, because when you heard Grover running, it sounded all messed up.
That's right. Yeah. That was the last time we heard any sound on it.
And I'm gonna go to one of those soccer slots to watch.
Had a lesson for 7 years.
Now, under the lip is on. Talking too much, this might be a rough one for you. The hills ain't too bad. It is still Florida. You're not climbing up Pikes Peak or nothing, but
But they do sell a T-shirt that says I
climbed Mount Dora. Elevation 200 feet.
Yep.
But you can see some old photos. They fill the whole city with vendors from all across the country. There'll be food trucks, restaurants will be open, tea shops. One of my favorite places, they do a fantastic buffet over at the Lakeside Inn.
Oh, yeah.
They are really good. And we'll give you about 4.5 hours to explore there. If managers, if you would like to check that out, that's an antique shop and market and flea market. October 29th, we're going to go to the Suncoast Broadway Theater in Tootsie, and that's based on the Dustin Hoffman movie from, I guess, the 80s or 90s. And it's similar story. In the movie, Dustin Hoffman's character is a down on his luck actor, and
It's, the one, Robin Williams.
well, yeah, you're thinking of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
I'm
one's
sorry.
Dustin
That's okay, I
Hoffman
made the
and
same
Jessica
mistake.
Lange.
Yeah.
Tootsie.
This is the one with Dustin Hoffman, and he's trying to get a part on a soap opera and fails to get the part for the man. So his friend is a makeup artist. They make him up as a woman. He goes in and tries out for the part his girlfriend was trying out for and gets it as Dorothy. Now, what they changed to make it a stage play and a musical instead of a TV soap opera, he's trying out for a Broadway musical in this one. But it's going to have fantastic music. Again, and this one's up in Hudson. It's not quite as long a day as going to the Broadway Palm down in Fort Myers, so not quite as much driving. That's an advantage there. So it's hot, but it could be worse. You guys ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
Barbara, that one's for
I'm
you.
cooking in the house today.
You know that, right?
I need to raise this. Hold on, Barbara. Hold on, Barbara.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see the bottom now. That is just for you, Barbara.
Oh, geez.
Mom says you need a winter jacket. Me, this is way too big. Mom, and I know some of you guys have said this. Don't worry, you'll grow into it. Put your hand up if you never said that. Yeah.
Never said that.
Wait, I know
I
you would
just
have.
want that jacket.
How to dress for cold weather, take the pants off, get back in bed.
Amen.
Or if it's really cold, leave the pants on. Okay, you guys want to sing with me? You ready? Oh, the weather outside is frightful. My joint pain is not delightful. And since it's got so darn cold, I feel old, I feel old, I feel old. You guys are great. We can cut an album.
Oh,
There we go.
Wendy liked this one. That is an angry little Jeep, isn't it?
that's good.
That kid likes the tropics.
And, okay, that takes us into November. November, we're going to kick off with going to Key West. It's about half sold out already. So it'll be 3 days. Day one, we leave St. Pete. We're going to go down through the Everglades. We'll have a stop for a gator show and a wildlife show and an airboat ride. And then we're going to get to Kendall, Florida, which is just outside Miami. Lunchtime. And time until after sunset. West, check out the fantastic sites like Hemingway's house with the weird six-toed cats, or the Mel Fisher Treasure Museum, and a lot of other things. Dinner, and then the bus will bring us back home to the hotel. Day 3, we'll have a driving tour of Miami. Down home. Why don't we stay in Key West?
Expensive.
Get on your computer, take a look at what hotels cost in Key West and that you'll have your answer. Also, November 1st, we're going to go back to Broadway Palm. They have a traveling act called the Rat Pack. Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, and who's that guy?
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. I've heard of him. He's a singer, right?
Old Blue Eyes. Father of Nancy Sinatra.
So same great theater, same great lunch and food. They got a big cash bar, and putting on a fantastic concert for you on stage with really good music. I used to make my kid listen to a lot of Frank Sinatra in the car. That's how come he's got such great taste. We're going to do the Sarasota Medieval, technically on the Mayaca side. It's going to be in a nice woods area, woody area with a lot of trees and shade, so you won't be out in the heat. It will be in November too, so it should be cooler. Let me tell you about my favorite act when you go to the medieval fair. There's going to be jousting and human chess and turkey legs and all that stuff. But the best act there, the one you don't miss, or I will disown you, is this lady right here. That is the Washing Well Wenches. And they put on the most hilarious show. Barbara, you've got to take Terry and make sure you sit in the front row with him. And the Washing Well Wenches will take a particular interest in fellas like Terry. They like to share your beer, by the way. It's a really good show and should be a fantastic time. And it's going to be a little cooler than going to the one in Tampa or Dunedin or Largo, right? Because they didn't have a lot of trees there. This should be a good place to get out of the shade. November 4th, we're going to go to Bearadise Ranch. If you love bears, you love the outdoors and cool animals, these guys are the Welt family bears, and they train bears for television and movies. So if you've seen a bear in the movies or TV, there's a good chance he lives at this ranch. They have a great big area with a little lake and places to play, and the bears have lots of fun and are very entertaining. They will put on a show for you while you're there. You'll have a nice picnic. The bears are behind wires, so they can't steal your picnic basket. And, you know, if you're a fan, Cocaine Bear, great movie. Make sure you watch it. But no real bears in the movie. It was all CG. Sunday, November